1, 2, 3, 4.
This is a story of our first teacher. That's right. Shetland made her jumpers and the devil made her features. Blew up her bands when her mum said our names. Embroidered all the stories with slanderous claims. But it's over and done with. 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 It's over and done with.
Check, check, check. Okay.
Me, check.
All right. Well, 2023 is over, and we are here. Morgan and I are here now to create the 2023 mixtape. So Morgan, talk to me about what your methodology was for this.
Well, okay, so I think that you should kind of explain the aspect of it being.
Well, so what
Okay,
I did.
We should maybe
yeah.
Let's start where we started, which was TVs, movies, music, TV show, whatever.
Yeah, so we wanted to make
I said one twice.
We wanted to make a mixtape where it was just basically all the media or whatever, just to sort of create a media portrait of 2023. And I told Morgan that I found a way to I picked 10 songs that were representative of TV shows and movies and live music and lots of things. So there's representative songs in my list of 10.
Absolutely. I mean, okay,
So you did the same thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Except for no.
Okay.
So basically, I knew that. So Zach texted me that he was like, I have now completed a list where it is all songs, but they're representative of movies and things like that. And so I tried to abide by that as much as possible. Sometimes I just threw it completely out. Sometimes it's musical things.
Like a certain tone or a chord.
Sure. Well, you'll get it when we'll get there pretty early because
Okay.
It's pretty high. One of them is pretty high on my list.
Okay, cool.
So I did not get to see so many movies that I wanted to see this year.
Sure.
I will get to them.
Yeah.
But I have not gotten to them.
Whereas I saw tons of movies this year.
You saw arguably too many movies.
I was looking on Letterboxd. I logged 136 movies
That's
this year.
absolutely ridiculous.
And
I meant 12 probably.
but I mean, a lot of that was at home, and I was also I had this sort of mission to catch up on a lot of the movies that I hadn't seen before. And so I was thinking about trying to find a way to work a song in here that was just a song that evoked my Letterboxd era.
Yeah.
But I watched Heat for the first time this year. I watched The Fugitive for the first time this year. I watched Boogie Nights for the first time this year.
Ooh, you're hitting a lot of classics.
And I mean, they're all incredible 5-star movies. I saw so much stuff, and that was one reason that I watched so many movies. There was a point in the year that came where I basically just totally stopped watching TV shows at all because I was watching movies every single night because I was on such a hot streak. I was like, this one's amazing, and this one's amazing, and this one's amazing.
Well, it's cool to hit the classics too. I like that.
I watched Babylon, La La Land, and Boogie Nights all within the same 2-month period, and they're basically all just versions of each other. And so I mean they're all just dazzling.
Hot take, La La Land, meh.
I was aware that there was backlash against La La Land by the time I finally got around to seeing it, and I just think at that point I'd also already seen Babylon and Whiplash, 2 other Damien Chazelle movies that I really like. There is a bravura to the filmmaking in La La Land, where it's these incredibly long takes, and they're so complicated, and you just kind of I love that about this director, Damien Chazelle, that he just goes for it. The movie Babylon is just going for it for 3 hours
It's actually,
straight.
I did not know that the same director made La La Land and Babylon.
Yeah.
And I have not seen Babylon, but from the trailer, I get it.
I have been telling
Totally
people
tracks.
that Babylon is evil La La Land.
Okay.
So
I'm not opposed to that.
in the same way that the Barbie marketing was if you loved Barbie, this movie's for you. If you hate Barbie, this movie's for you. If you like La La Land, you'll probably like Babylon. If you hated La La Land, you might still like Babylon. The first 5 minutes of Babylon are absolutely grotesque. I hated watching it, and I hope I never see that part of the movie again. But the rest of it is fantastic.
I feel like 2023 was kind of a meh year. Like a lot of the stuff that I wanted to be, that I wanted to love, I didn't. Putting together this list made me feel better about it.
Uh-huh.
But still kind of like 2023 mixed bag.
I would say that's true about everything except for movies. I would say it was kind of a weak TV year. I would say that it was kind of a weak music year, but there's still great stuff. And I would also say that we've had, in just the last 2 months, like a rapid succession of like all-timer movies. When you see The Holdovers, like tomorrow when it hits Peacock, it's gonna become one of your favorite movies of all time instantly.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, that's high praise.
Yes, and I basically guarantee it.
Wow.
And there was like a couple others. Like I was talking to Christy's cousin over Christmas, and he was like, "Oh, we haven't seen May December yet," and I was like, "Strap in, dude! That movie's a banger." So yeah, there's a ton of great movies. My top 10 list is still shaping up. I'm pretty sure Oppenheimer is number one. But
Still haven't seen Oppenheimer.
I'm leaving space for that to not be true.
Never even heard of May December. I'm way behind on my movie
I'll
list.
write you a list.
We do have a list now
Yes.
going, like
Good.
an actual physical list
Things
of
to watch.
Things to watch, yeah.
Yeah.
And so we are going to catch up on those things.
I actually don't. That's my problem. I don't have that now. So now I'm just kind of I'm checking off the things that have come out recently that I think are like worthwhile for seeing for the end of the year. But like, I've been watching Maestro on Netflix.
Yeah.
It might be the worst movie I've ever seen.
Is that true? How's his performance?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like it's okay. For what it's worth, I could not finish A Star Is Born. I
Bradley never even saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, Bradley Cooper's last directorial effort.
Yeah.
I found it to be so cringe-inducing that I like physically could not watch it. Like I had to
That's
turn it
interesting.
off. There are things that are like
It
that
kind
where
of
I
strikes me as that.
Yeah, and the same kind of things happening with Maestro.
Do you think that just hearing the fact that it took him X amount of years, they said, to learn how to conduct one piece, I'm like, that's not worth it.
Well, but like how often? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I know. You're Bradley Cooper.
Was he
You didn't
meeting
spend
like
that
once a
much time.
quarter? Yeah, he was doing other stuff.
All right, so I want you to think about something while we're talking.
Okay.
Because I want to implement something into the end of this episode.
Okay.
I want you to come up with something, or I have two things that you hated this year. Okay.
Let's do it now.
You want to do it now? Okay,
Yeah.
so here's my reason why.
Okay.
Morgan's microphone gets briefly disconnected for a second here, and so what you're hearing is his voice picked up on my microphone, really amplified. So it sounds bad, but it only happens like 3 more times.
I'd like to end on positive notes. So let's
That's a good point. Okay, so one of my favorite artists out there right now, pop artists specifically, is Doja Cat.
Okay.
I love Doja Cat.
Mm-hmm.
I was so excited for this new album. It's called Scarlet. I'm not joking. Unlistenable, this album.
I've heard this. I'm not really familiar with
Unlistenable.
Doja Cat, but I've heard that people were.
She's
not happy
amazing.
about it.
She has a very intricate and different style of rapping that is like basically unparalleled. She's like the greatest rapper of all time in talent.
Okay.
Okay? Unlistenable, this album.
I feel like this actually happens a lot where, like, I'm not saying that Chance the Rapper is a talented rapper, but Chance the Rapper is a very sui generis rapper. You know, his
Sure.
performance style is very much himself, and it's like he can't make a good album.
Yeah, what happened to you, dude? Okay, so first one is Doja Cat Scarlet.
Yep.
Second one, Ant-Man Quantumania.
That's mine.
Okay.
Yeah. I watched that
Burn
movie,
Forever.
I watched that movie twice. And
I started it a second time. I did not make it through it.
I couldn't really, but like, so, because like I just saw Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom.
Yeah.
Fun.
Sure.
Like, fun movie.
Sure.
I wouldn't say rush out and go see it in the theater, but when it pops up on HBO or Netflix or whatever it is in a couple of months, like, check it out. It's fun. Patrick Wilson's fun. Jason Momoa, always fun. But it also it has a base level of visual competence most of the time. Early on, there's a few sequences where I was like, we're verging on Quantumania territory here. But But like that's the biggest sin of Ant-Man Quantumania is that it's like it's not just incoherent at a story level. Lots of these kind of movies are incoherent at a story level these days. It's incoherent at a visual level. There's a sequence where Ant-Man and his daughter are giant-sized, and you can't tell.
Did Peyton Reed make that one?
Yes.
What happened? What happened, bro?
I think
You made 2 great movies with Ant-Man and
I'm
the
fairly
Wasp.
sure that I'm fairly sure that the movie originally had a darker ending where like Ant-Man ends up trapped in the quantum realm at the end and Kang essentially wins. It was like it tested poorly. And I think they changed their minds.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that they realized they'd already ended a movie with Ant-Man being trapped in the quantum realm, so they couldn't do it again.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
So not only that though, but I also feel like if you watch the trailer of Quantumania, there appears to be a whole storyline with Kang basically trying to morally compromise Paul Rudd that is just lifted straight out of the movie, and you can almost feel where it's missing.
Interesting.
And it has to do with like when he's kind of first having conversations with Kang, and it's just it feels like they're kind of talking in a circle, and I think it's because the meat of their conversation is just gone.
Interesting.
And I don't know if that has to do with the way that Marvel was at the time. I think Marvel was either planning on saving some Jonathan Majors for later, or coming up already with a plan to cut him out if they had to. And so I don't know when they knew, as opposed to, but given what happened with Jonathan Majors, it actually does feel like a very well executed PR strategy on Marvel's behalf to let Loki season 2 play out and then to bring the hammer down after the court case ended.
And Loki season 2 was such a good cap on that it's like, I had enough. I can't imagine them trying to build a whole like series of movies arc around Kang at this point.
The moment that they went to that, the moment Quantumania ends with a post-credit scene of like a million Kangs.
Yep.
And I was like, oops, it doesn't work.
Yeah. That's funny. I did too.
It was like
Same.
on the lead up to the idea where like, oh, what if the Avengers had to fight a villain who there were like millions of different versions of? It's like, wow, cool, very interesting. There was an old Charlie Kaufman a long time ago pitched a TV show starring Laura Dern.
Okay, it might actually have been Catherine Keener.
It was about like every different version of a woman in like a sort of multiverse, basically, where every single episode, Laura Dern
Or maybe Catherine Keener.
would just be playing a different version of the same woman living out the same day in different ways, in different worlds, different circumstances.
Okay. And
that was his idea for a TV show. And it was like, you were too early, man, because that's basically everything everywhere all at once.
Yep.
And, he got there too early. But I think we've learned over the course of the last 3 or 4 years of multiversal content that there's a ceiling on it, and the ceiling's way lower than everybody thought it was.
Right. I agree.
All right, well, let's talk about our number 10
Yes.
on our list.
Okay.
All right, so the number 10 on my list is a song called Start a Band by Daniel Pemberton, and it comes from the score of Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
I was wondering about Across the Spider-Verse because I was like, the first one had Sunflower. I love that song, but like this one didn't have a hit attached to it.
But it has this amazing score, and it's that rock band theme that kind of recurs throughout the whole movie, and this version is the version that plays over the end, as like a quote unquote band gets together to basically go save Miles Morales.
The end of Across the Spider-Verse was straight up shocking to me in the theater because I did not know it was going to be a part 1. So I was almost angry at it because it was such a big build-up. But that being said, oh my God, this movie is so good. What else is there to say other than Across the Spider-Verse? Just straight up banger movie.
Yeah, great movie. It's on Netflix now, which is so funny because the first one's not. So funny how that happens.
Yeah, that is funny.
I'd love to just like watch them both straight through almost.
Yeah.
But yeah, I actually have only so far since it's been on Netflix, I've only called up the Spider-Man India sequence to watch that through again.
That is an amazing. There's lots of stuff that's amazing in that movie.
Yes.
The visuals are unbelievable.
What's your number 10?
Do you know who I'm talking about if I say the name Troye Sivan?
I do know of who this person is, but I don't know like their music.
So Troye Sivan is an Australian pop star and basically gay icon. My number 10 is a song called Rush, but specifically the video.
Okay.
The video is straight up like just like gay summer. You know what I mean? And it's all with these gorgeous men. He's got great representation through it all. And like it's awesome that we're able to get to a point where there is like not just like gay culture being represented, but we're able to be so open about it and everything like that. It's a video that's like basically just sexy partying and everybody's got their shirts off. It's just amazing. And I just thought it was very important as far as like this kind of shift, as far as like, because there have always been like gay icons, but now we're able to actually like put the visuals where that's just part of our culture and that's out, you know, it's a hit song kind of thing. There's something different about this, you know, like, and I think that needs to be celebrated. As a straight white male, I felt the need to A, mention it, but also B, not act like I know too much about it. That's why I put him at number 10.
Yeah.
You know,
Right on.
it's a shout out to Troye Sivan. Also, by the way, straight up shout out to his 2018 album that's called Bloom. There are like 3 solid bangers on that album that I listen to all the time.
All right. Well, that actually dovetails pretty nicely with my number 9, which is a song called Quarry by the band Wednesday. So this, because my subtitle on this was just like, you know what, man, the kids are all right. Because there's always a lot of hand wringing among, you know, millennials such as myself on the internet about who's going to pick up the mantle, basically, of like our aging cultural god kings. And the answer is, I mean, there's so many, right? Like people were like, wow, look at this year, right? We've got huge movies from like Martin Scorsese and all these like aging titans, Ridley Scott, all these guys. Who's going to take their place? And it's like, I don't know, man. Greta Gerwig had a movie that made $1 billion, you know,
Yeah.
and she's like running straight at the mouth of making like big blockbuster movies.
Yeah.
And obviously has this history of cinema in her head that she is trying to pay homage to at all times, and that's Martin Scorsese, right? So it's like you have it already.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Yeah.
And like the movie that I actually associate with this song for some reason is a movie called How to Blow Up a Pipeline, which is one of my favorite movies of the year. It is a movie made by young people about a topic that interests young people, direct action on climate change, and it speaks to them in a language that they understand, and it comes from their set of feelings about what's happening to the world and what people in charge have done to it.
Right.
And in the same way, this band, Wednesday, this whole album, it's called Rat Saw God, has so much specific perspective. I keep telling people that it sounds like Rilo Kiley if they were like born in Appalachia and not in like, you know, Laurel Canyon. And because it's like all these songs are about like meth labs and like friends taking prescription drugs and just like, you know, driving around in muddy parking lots and whatever. Like, but yeah, this song Quarry in particular, I listen to it all the time. And it's just got this like huge, big 3-chord chorus, and it's like, yeah, man, the kids are fine. Like we know they are both doing the thing we love, and they're also advancing the form at the same time, which is what we ask of all of our big artists. And like, for those with eyes to see, everywhere you look, the new generation of artists is coming up and doing great work. And so listen to the album by Wednesday and watch How to Blow Up a Pipeline because, my God, that movie rocks.
I love it.
All right, what's your number 9?
This is an umbrella one. All the 20-year reunions that everyone was doing.
Sure.
My number 9.
Yeah, of course.
Shout out to you guys. You're doing great work out there. Specifically, now everyone, obviously we would immediately go to the Postal Service and Death Cab 1, right? Specifically like what Tim Casher's been doing. I love you guys, and I love that you're older and you're doing your 20-year reunions. Good on you. I love it.
Yeah, I think it's a healthy attitude toward, like, your past work, basically. It's cool to see artists being like, yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
Instead of being kind of down on their old work or that kind of thing. It's
Yeah.
like they're far enough away from it to be like, yeah, this is cool. Maria Taylor was, like, so earnest on Instagram posting about being on tour with Bright Eyes and, like, how much fun she was having.
Yeah.
And you know, and it's like, I love that. I love hearing that Maria Taylor being like, yeah, I'm just like a mom now, but like I get to go tour Australia with Bright Eyes, and how cool is this?
Yeah. So shout out to the people that are doing their 20-year reunion tours, not reunion, album tours, and keep doing it, please.
Yeah, there is an argument to be made. I don't think it's a true argument, but there's an argument to be made that one reason that people sort of feel like this year was culturally disappointing is because there is so much like rehash culture right now with like Taylor Swift and everything else. And next year will probably be even more intense because 2004 was like a very big, like, they're already scheduling the 20-year anniversary screening of Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Like it's a big year that's coming up. And not only that, it's the year after the strike. So there's going to be some gaps, not a lot of Marvel, no DC.
Yeah.
And so it'll be, it might still feel like that, I guess.
Yeah.
But I guess I would say that, again, for those with eyes to see, right, there's still so much stuff out there that's new and exciting. And we can do both. We can relive the past.
We can
briefly,
do both.
And we can also celebrate the new stuff.
Yeah, hey, yeah, I just bought a kilo from my dog in B-Lo. Mixing fentanyl with diesel. That shit they selling clogging needles. Niggas switch so I don't talk to people. 2 clips, that's enough shots for you and your alter ego. Flight coming in from Puerto Rico, landing on the East Coast. And I don't drive cars with keyholes. Y'all niggas just getting fresh and y'all talking fashion. I'm a veteran.
Hard work instead of talent. But I work harder than niggas and I got better talent than any nigga that ever challenged and tried to knock me off my toes. I had to show them I had better balance. Everybody is full, hoodie, fag, New Balance. Get head in Dallas. My bitch thick like Meg Thee Stallion. As you can see, my bread is piling. Still got the elbows flying like I'm Randy Savage.
These the results you get when you the reason the culture shift. Don't believe in that vulture shit, had to feed my associates. I make sure everybody eat, yeah, I think like a socialist. $1 million empire from a piece of a broken brick.
You know these hoes ain't shit, so I cheat and don't commit. I'm rich, I just can't go to sleep with a broken bitch. Loaded fifth, press a button, and the scope focus quick, and the clip longer than the script from a motion pic.
We can do both.
And actually, that also dovetails once again pretty well with my number 8, which is Slippery People, the live version by the Talking Heads. Because I got to see the new remastered 4K version of Stop Making Sense in theaters, and it was so much fun.
Yeah.
I love those songs, and I love them even more now. And like, there was a couple of them, like Slippery People and What a Day That Was, that I've always kind of known and appreciated, but seeing it on the big screen really loud, I was like, this is one of the greatest songs of all time. So, I mean, I think Stop Making Sense is probably the best single music documentary ever made, but it was nice to be able to see it kind of with like fresh eyes.
Yeah.
And what was funny was my kind of honorable mention for this item is the movie American Made, which stars Tom Cruise. It is a movie about a real guy who was basically like he was a CIA drug runner into Central America, but basically also flipped and was working with like Noriega and whoever else down there, and sort of profiting from both sides, both the U.S. government and the drug cartels, and kind of flipped back and forth over and over again across the 70s and 80s. And Tom Cruise plays this pilot, and the movie is kind of insane. It's It looks like it was filmed on Instagram.
When
but
was this made?
2017.
Okay.
And so anyway, it has slippery people in it, which is pretty fun. But I just had a blast watching this movie. It's so
Interesting.
It's ridiculous, but it's great.
Strange to me that there's a Tom Cruise movie that I did not know the name of, or like haven't seen.
This was around the time that Tom Cruise had a couple of larger budget light misfires at the box office, and this was around the time that he was like, all right, fine, I'm doing Mission Impossible Forever now.
Yeah.
So
Not a bad way to go, my man.
He kind of is memory holing those movies a little bit, but whenever it pops up on its streaming service, I would say, I think it was on Netflix and now it's gone, but I would check it out.
Cool.
American Made by Doug Liman, who did like the Born Supremacy movies.
All right, so I'm at number 8. Ready?
Yes.
All right. So this is another, not a song, but a podcast. It's Strike Force 5.
This is the one with all the late night hosts?
Yes.
Who were the 5? Colbert?
Yeah.
Fallon?
Yeah.
Seth Meyers? Kimmel?
John Oliver and Seth
okay. I forgot about Kimmel and John Oliver. Okay.
And Colbert. And then they have special episodes that are named like David Letterman Makes 6.
Oh, okay.
Now, first of all, I love the late night guys. Like I watch Seth Meyers and Stephen Colbert like all the time. Mm-hmm. But hearing them all together is incredibly funny. And it's rocky at the beginning. Mm-hmm. And then in episode 5, they like switch who's hosting, and Jimmy Fallon hosts a game show about trivia with their wives, but he did such a bad job asking the questions that it's like to the wives that like all of their answers are like convoluted and crazy, and it's so funny. I laughed so hard. And also it's great to hear them talk about like, because they all talk about like their first episode, like they talk about like just great old late night stuff.
All right, well, my number 7 is a song called Dawn Colored Horse by Fen Lily. And this is just a stand-in for the fact that, like, I think I only went to one concert this year.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw some live, like, outdoor stuff, in the summer, but, like, the only, like, venue rock show I went to was I went to with you and Sarah.
Yeah.
Which was Christian Lee Hudson and Fen Lily and Workwife. And it was great, and I became like a big fan of both Workwife and Fen Lily, and I listened to a ton of their music all year.
My number 7 is the musical scene from The Marvels. Okay?
Nice.
All right? When it happened, I was like, I love this. We are always going to different worlds in the MCU, and we've never seen anything like this. Now, part of that is because it's crazy, but way to have the balls to do it, A, and B, when she starts explaining it, she's like, yeah, they won't understand you because their language is singing.
It's I would say this is one of the more comic booky Marvel movies we've ever gotten. Yeah. Where there's sometimes the connective tissue between one scene to another sort of strains credulity a little bit, but you're like, but if you just go with it, like it's fun. And there's some really strong just go with it energy about like Musical Planet. Yes. And one thing that they have in there, the ace in the hole there, is they have Kamala Khan, and that actress is so great that they can just kind of bounce anything off of her, and she helps make it. She's the audience surrogate, so she helps make it fun.
She's like, yeah, this is crazy, right?
Yeah, this is crazy, but I love it, and that's how you feel in the audience too.
They also did a very good job selling that. Like with the world and what it looks like, it's a water planet. It's like they say something like it's like 85% water, and like it they made this very like kind of coastal, like Italian, like Mediterranean kind of looking place. They just everything about it was like, you nailed this, like, and I loved it.
I will say the Marvels absolutely leave that planet to die.
Yeah, I know.
Right on. Okay. Well, yes, I really like the Marvels. Another one where I would say, like, I mean, not that you have the option now, but I wouldn't like rush out to see that one in theaters. But when that one hits Disney Plus, that's a great evening at home. And the same
also
thing is,
protest watch, because all the haters out there, you know.
Of the comic book movies we got this year, I mean, it's Across the Spider-Verse and Guardians 3 at the top.
Yeah.
And then a very big gulf between the rest. But I would say that it's like the Marvels and Blue Beetle are kind of the middle tier.
I think the Marvels is better than Blue Beetle, but I think that rests upon the lore that's already established. As far as like standalone movie, Blue Beetle's a lot of fun.
It is. It's
Yeah.
a lot of fun. So yeah, cool. All right, well, my number 6 is Hook by Blues Traveler, which is a song that I'm choosing to stand in for the show Poker Face.
Okay.
Because there is a very funny monologue toward the end of that show's run involving the lyrics to the bridge of Blues Traveler's Hook, recited menacingly by Benjamin Bratt. But more
That
than
is funny.
anything,
I haven't gotten to that point.
Oh, it's a very funny scene. There is, but mostly the pilot is what I'm thinking of. So I really loved the experience of watching Poker Face week to week at the beginning of this year. It reminded me of like when WandaVision was coming out. It was like the first time in a while that there's been a show that I was keeping up with as it was coming out, and like week to week, I was really excited to watch it. And that first episode of Poker Face is one of the best TV episodes of the year.
Poker Face is an amazing show. I feel guilty that I have not finished it. I've made it like halfway through, but also that's what I do.
Yeah, but the thing about Poker Face too is that it is genuinely very episodic. And so there's something that's really enjoyable about the fact that you can just kind of watch one
absolutely.
whenever. But at the time, it was like I just had Poker Face and Top Chef, and so I was like, every single time that came out, I was like, "New Poker Face, Christy, sit down."
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a fun excitement because it's not common anymore.
No. The only TV show that I've picked up again after is I'm watching The Curse, which is the Nathan Fielder.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Good.
I tapped out after the second episode because there is a plot line that involves something traumatic happening with a pregnancy, and I was like,
Nope,
I
too
need a
close to
break.
home.
I need a break. But then I kind of like tapped back in.
Yeah.
And it's hard to watch, but there is something so like viscerally uncomfortable about how good and realistic Nathan Fielder and Emma Stone are as like a very toxic couple. It's like they have a fight in the third episode that is like so bracingly real that I was like, oh my God. I was like, Nathan Fielder's an incredible actor.
Yeah.
Like, you don't think of him that way because of his kind of blending of reality and whatever. But
Yeah.
it's like when you actually think about it, the toolkit that he uses to be that guy out in the world
Yeah.
can also be used in a straight up actual television show.
Yeah.
And it's something to behold.
I love Nathan Fielder and I cannot wait to watch that show. I also love Emma Stone.
Oh yeah, I love Emma Stone so much.
Yeah.
Emma Stone, I think, is our. I said this after I watched La La Land. I was like, greatest living actress, Emma Stone.
She's great.
I want to bust all your balloons. I want to burn all of your cities to the ground. I've found I will not mess around unless I play. Then hey, I will go on all day. Hear what I say. I have a prayer to pray. That's really all this was. When I'm feeling stuck and need a buck, I don't rely on luck because the hook brings you back.
You really are the fucking worst.
Okay, so are we at 6?
We are at your 6. Yep.
But wait, was that your 6?
Yeah. Hook. Blues Traveler.
Okay. Okay. Olivia Rodrigo, Vampire.
Oh, going with Vampire.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, so I also think it's very funny that so again, Zach and I do not compare lists ahead of time.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like we should just continue that until there's some big crash and burn.
Until we have a
where
list
like
identical.
a number one, where like a number one gets burned early or something like that. You know,
sure.
it's
Yep.
gonna happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll just head straight for it until the end. But I went with Vampire because this album was so highly anticipated for me. You know, I was like so excited for a follow up.
Yeah.
That when Vampire came out, it was like, let's go. Like that song is so weird to be the first single.
That's true. It is.
released.
It's quite a choice.
And it's like awesome choice, great song, great production. I love that sound. It's so like, it's almost like like the way that it just pumps in your face is like so much.
It reminds me the most of New York, I Love You, but You're Bringing Me Down, the LCD Sound System song.
Yeah.
Like those big like
Yeah.
things.
And but yeah, amazing.
I really enjoyed that album. I might like All American Bitch might be my favorite.
Sure. I thought that
reminds me of
Vampire
Weezer.
mattered more because it released the
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was All American Bitch. I was like, oh, this is Olivia Rodrigo's My Name Is Jonas.
Yeah. I love that song. And the album's great. But yeah, I thought Vampire mattered more because it was your sophomore album, first single.
Right.
Bang. Here
I
it is.
also just once again, I know I say this all the time, but I got to say shout out to Olivia Rodrigo for dedication to swearing all the time.
Yeah. I like it.
She really makes a conscious effort.
I will say, I did see something. This is not about her. This is about her, I guess, her production team. Not the album, but I mean like the people who create her live performances and stuff. Her live performance on SNL,
Yeah,
is like a straight up ripoff of a music video from this other band.
Huh.
Like shot for shot.
Interesting.
I watched this TikTok of this girl being like, Olivia Rodrigo just stole my intellectual property.
Interesting.
And it was a side-by-side comparison, and it's like everything about it, top to bottom.
I still haven't watched that performance. I've been meaning to catch up on the.
She's like, it's like a tea party kind of deal.
Yeah.
And like even in the video, in the live performance, there are just hands coming in, I think. Yeah. But in the video, you can see the people, but like there's dancers on the other side, and they like bang on the table the exact same way. It's crazy.
Interesting.
So whoever designed this performance straight up ripped off this video.
Yeah.
Which it's like, why? Take the idea and mess around.
Sometimes
Haven't you ever plagiarized something before in your lives, dude? Come on.
Sometimes people don't realize that's my benefit of the doubt version of it.
Yeah.
Sometimes people don't realize the idea that they are. I've done this before. I've been like at work, sort of like pitching an idea, and someone's like, "Oh, that's kind of like," and I'm like, "You know what? That's where I'm getting it from."
Yeah. That's the George Harrison thing with My Sweet Lord.
Oh yeah.
When they called him on that, he goes, "Oh yeah, I thought that sounded familiar."
Very funny. Okay, well, so my number 5 pick is a song called "Purpose Is Glorious" by Natalie Holt, the composer of the Loki TV show.
Okay, great.
And so
I was like, who?
This is the song that happens during the finale. It's the kind of like quieter, woozy, synthy thing. It reminded me of the show High Maintenance. Actually, musically and almost tonally in a weird way, because this is like when Owen Wilson is like looking at it's during that whole section. He's like looking at his alternate
family.
self and everything. And it's just that incredibly weird scene where like his like last line is like, "I think I'll just stay here for a while and let time pass."
Yeah.
And it's so beautiful and odd, and I thought that whole episode was.
Yeah.
It's so funny because I see a lot of people showing like the part where you see like Loki on the green throne or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's fine, that's great.
That was fine. But
That was almost my least favorite part.
Yeah, exactly.
So much of the rest of the characters kind of going on in this montage toward the end. I was like, I have never seen anything of this caliber from Marvel ever.
No.
And so like
Not that type of like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that the Loki season 2 was a little too long for the story they had. I think that the first episode is awesome. The whole like, there's a scene with this character OB that takes place on 2 timelines at the same time. So one character is in the present and one character is in the past. And so everything that Loki tells him in the past, he suddenly remembers in the present.
Yeah.
And it's so funny and so clever, and I've never seen anything like that happen before.
Yeah.
And then it gets a little tangled, I think, in the middle. But that even the last 2 episodes, but the last episode of Loki, I mean, it's like a top 3 Marvel thing for me.
Oh yeah, it was incredible. The season was incredible. The show was incredible. It's the best show.
Yes, it's definitely the best show.
It's by far the best show.
And
but they also had time to flesh out the story more than one season things.
And it just does things emotionally and sonically and visually that nobody else has done. And
I know.
I think it's gonna be more influential. Hopefully, I hope it's more influential on Marvel going forward. That's my hope.
God, I would hope so.
Yeah.
Learn something.
Jump into a conclusion, cause it starts your evolution. Like the trees dumped into some dust blunt fusion. A old cocktail of mine, chemicals to real time. It's all good as long as he ain't inhaling swine. Dare to climb, scared money makes none. Take one, be sure to flush before the jakes come. Oh sharp, specialty is flow art. Smart, but go in circles like a go-kart. Yeah, don't start, make them have to finish. Just bounce like gold diggers, once the dough diminish. Phony, it gets lonely at the finish. Yeah. You see, some deal dope, others still hope. What's revealed is of a certain field, grow. Yellow moist mushy, banana peel coke. At worst, could not be confused with real soap.
Okay, so this might be where we come in collision about something that you might mention in the future.
Okay.
But I have, instead of picking one song, I just wrote the whole Bright Eyes re-releases as a collection,
Yeah.
right? The idea that you were doing this, I mean, yes, Taylor Swift was also doing this or whatever, but like
In a different way.
in a different way. The reimagining of songs, these were like some of the best ones.
Yeah, the last few. We got the People's Key this year and Noise Floor.
All of it. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's all so good.
I really enjoyed this whole project. I feel like I still actually need time to sit with a lot of these songs.
Agreed.
But like, I mean, gosh, that cover of Wrecking Ball, the Jillian Welch song, was like I think it was like my number 2 most played song of the year on Spotify.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay.
Wildly good.
Yes. I actually didn't put this on my list, so I'm glad we're talking about it.
All right. Well, and we talked about Bright Eyes enough on this podcast. I'm just saying, like, the fact that you went and did these these new versions of old songs is, and I like that none of them are the same. You know, a lot of the, I guess there were a couple that were like basically just new recordings, but like they all kind of had this reimagining, and I just love it. I love that we're in that era for him.
I would love to make a playlist of like my top 10 or 12 from the whole project of
Yeah.
the reimagined songs, because there are some I wouldn't say misses. There's no like outright misses, but there's a few where you're like, this doesn't really add anything for me that the old song didn't have, and it actually takes a few things away.
Well, and some of the like ones that are like kind of big orchestra stuff, it's like almost like for me it's a little like we've done enough of this with these tracks.
Yeah.
They're like the big orchestra pieces. It was like, this is literally just because you guys had a big orchestra, and who does, is it Nate Walcott that does all the
much of the
arrangements? It's like, it's like Nate Walcott just went crazy on this one, you know?
That's fun for him to do, but Nate Walcott and Mike Mogus also score movies sometimes. So
I just, there were a couple of tracks that I was kind of like, yeah, this kind of sounds the same as the other one, you know? Mm-hmm. You're still high on my list, buddy, because I love you so much. And and it was just great work out of you.
I need to just check the spelling of this next one because I think it autocorrected.
Why does the spelling matter?
I just wanted to make sure I was saying the word right because it's like in Italian.
Okay.
But so my number 4 choice is Andante Risoluto by Nicholas Britell. This is from the Succession score.
Okay, yeah, people love the music from Succession.
So yeah, I've said this before, but that's actually, I think, the key ingredient to Succession is just like this incredible score that's coming in all the time. There is a wonderful music to like the dialogue of the show, and it's got so many moods too. You know, there are like very serious fights between spouses. There are like really silly, ridiculous, childish arguments. There are really funny, really profane, sort of like boardroom arguments. There's all kinds of different kinds of talking in Succession, but like it's all talking and music.
Yeah.
There's like a scene. So Justin Kirk, you know, Uncle Andy from Weeds.
Yep.
He plays basically like a sort of like a combination between Donald Trump and Jordan Peterson running for president. And he has a scene with Roman Roy, who's Kieran Culkin.
Yeah.
And it is like the flirtiest, most intense scene. And like, I mean, like it lit Tumblr on fire forever, this scene. But there's so much of that. Succession is like listening to music. I will sometimes put an episode of Succession on in my pocket on my phone and listen to it in headphones while I'm like washing dishes, because I just love to listen to it. And so this is the song that actually plays in the finale. And so because Succession ended this year and it ended spectacularly.
Yeah.
Like it ended and you're like, perfect ending. They did it. And like, and nobody saw it coming. Everyone was predicting like some big thing that was going to happen. But of course we should know by now that like most dramas don't do that, right? Like
Yeah.
the Yellow King doesn't actually show up and step out of hell at the end of True Detective season 1, right?
Sure.
Like that's what people thought was going to happen. Of course it's not going to happen. Something very different, a very different note than you're expecting to even be played is what's going to be played. And that was the case with Succession.
Cool.
Killer finale, killer last season.
I've made it through like 2 episodes of Succession. Again, it's one of those shows I'm definitely going to make it through it at some point. I don't know when, but at some point.
There's so the 3rd episode of Succession this season, something very surprising happens. And then I think the 8th episode is called America Decides, and it is basically election night.
Awesome.
And it's like election night at essentially Fox News headquarters.
I love this. That sounds amazing.
And it's wild. There's also in this like very intense America is on the brink of collapsing into fascism kind of episode, there is a long sequence where a guy gets wasabi in his eye, and one of the characters pours like lemon LaCroix in his eye to try and get it out.
Oh
it just
my
makes
God.
it worse. And
that is ridiculous.
And that's the kind of show that Succession is, and it's amazing. So
that's great. I
highly
love it.
recommend Succession. Nicholas Bertel's score. I mean, just the main theme of Succession is wild, but like there's so much great music, and it scores so many iconic moments in Succession that like it really helps kind of sear the memory in. So what's your number 4?
My number 4 is, so by way of choosing a song I am choosing the version of Push. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Yeah. So Push out of Barbie. And I sat in the theater.
I've watched it multiple times now because I watched it with the director's commentary.
Oh, I bet that's fun.
It is fun.
So I sat in the theater, and not only is it an entertaining story and it's just a good time, but like visually, no movie looks like this.
True.
Like the things that they designed for it are absolutely incredible. The visuals, the costumes, those people should win Academy Awards.
Yeah, it also has very good. The production design is not only good visually, but also sonically, where the differences between Barbie Land and the real world in terms of how things sound. And even like when America Ferrera does that kind of monologue about what it's like to be a woman in the world, every other sound basically drops out completely.
Yeah.
And it really emphasizes what she's saying.
So the reason that I chose Push too was because not only is it a very funny scene, but I loved it when it was happening, that they're moving to the different people and the song continues.
Yeah.
So it's all the same audio, but like you're like,
but certain parts of it are
bumped up when you're getting to that place. And I was like, this is just an amazing scene while something completely ridiculous is taking place.
Yes. I think it's probably the funniest scene of the year. It's probably the movie scene I laughed at the most. What a funny choice for a song.
Yes.
And, you know, it obviously gets seeded earlier on, like, it's playing on the radio.
Yeah.
But what the perfect funny choice. And what's really funny is, like, Greta Gerwig says in the commentary track that she just really likes the song.
Yeah.
But, like, it's just a perfect choice, and it's so funny. And, yeah, it becomes so extreme with, like, hundreds of Kens playing this song on the beach. Have you listened to the Spotify version of it? Just because there are parts of the song that you don't really hear in the movie because, like, dialogue is happening and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the way that Ryan Gosling sings like I wanna take you for granted. He does that, and it's so he does it every time. It's like he never pronounces the word granted, and it's the funniest vocal performance.
I wanna take you from ground town. I wanna take you from ground town. Yeah.
Seeing Margot Robbie in both Babylon and Barbie this year too is like she's like an extreme level talent.
Yeah.
The stuff that she does in Babylon is crazy, like in terms of like the physical performance of it. The same thing is true about Barbie, even just like the way she moves and everything is so impressive. But what's really funny is there's a scene in Babylon where she is acting and she's being told to cry on cue, and she's like asking the director 1 tear or 2, and the director's like, you can control that, you know?
Wow.
And then she's like right eye or left eye, you know? And hearing Greta Gerwig talk about working with Margot Robbie.
Insane.
Well, yeah, hearing Greta Gerwig talk about working with Margot Robbie, it sounds like it's based on the real experience of working with Margot Robbie, because Greta Gerwig is like, I would tell her like these very complicated emotions to play out on her face, you know, in a scene where she's not saying anything, and Margot would just be like, okay, and then we'd just do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, so it's real.
Sarah would be very disappointed in me if I did not bring up the Billie Eilish song, What Was I Made For?
Oh, yeah, that's a good song.
Okay, that was
All right,
my number 4.
So my number 3 is a piece of music called Opening Ceremony with Awards Presentation by Alexandra Desplat, and it's from Asteroid City, which I think is my second favorite movie of the year. It may be the one that I return to most often, though, because Asteroid City, I think, is about the act of creating as a form of sort of emotionally processing, and almost about having faith in art's power to heal you without even really understanding what in yourself is being healed. So many of the characters in the play within a TV show of the movie are going through something very serious that they kind of can't understand, right? And then something incomprehensible happens to them with like an alien. And so it's about the idea that like you don't even necessarily have to understand it to get through it. You just have to feel it. There's like a line where Jason Schwartzman's like, I still don't understand the play. And Adrian Brody tells him like, it doesn't matter, just keep going. And I think it's a very odd perspective on like art and healing, but one that I think resonates with me very strongly. And not only that, though, it's also just a super fun, super entertaining from moment to moment, scene to scene, shot to shot movie. And my absolute favorite scene is a scene where Jeffrey Wright delivers this opening ceremony speech to a group of junior stargazers of America. And it's like incredibly fast. He's walking around on a stage. Different microphones are popping up to catch his voice as he tells these stories. And there's so many incredible lines in it. Like he talks about how his father was sent away in the war to end all wars. It didn't. And what was left of him came back in a box.
Yeah.
And the best part is he says, like, if you wanted a nice, peaceful life, you picked the wrong time to get born. And it's just amazing. And there's this twinkling, kind of repetitive, looping Alexandre Desplat score happening in the background of this scene. And the first time I saw it, it just like filled me with joy. And I've watched that scene 50 times since that movie came out.
So, no surprise here. I actually haven't finished Asteroid City.
Oh my God. But you would have got to that scene.
I
with
have
Jeffrey
seen
Wright.
that
That's right
scene.
toward the
Yeah,
beginning.
yeah. I have seen that scene. I have not finished it yet. Wes Anderson, one of my favorite directors of all time. I just haven't. You guys got to understand, all right? I graduated college this year.
Yes, you did.
I
Congratulations.
changed jobs. I did a lot, all right?
Big year for you. Not a lot of time to sit down and watch things. You'll get to it.
But there's also, you know, I'm ADHD, and you know, sitting down watching movies, my body's not made for that. You know, my body's up; it's moving around. Okay, so that was number 3.
Yes. I will say too, while we're talking about Wes Anderson though, and even on the subject of being ADHD, have you watched his Roald Dahl shorts on Netflix?
No, I have
those
not,
are
but
short.
I want to watch them so bad because
They
I was
are-
a huge Roald Dahl
They're short and they're so good.
guy when I was. Oh, man.
You can watch them in any order. They're not like a sequence.
Okay.
How
How many are there?
There's 4.
Okay.
Henry Sugar is the big one. It's like 40 minutes, and the rest are like 17. So,
Okay.
but the Henry Sugar one is the best one.
Henry Sugar.
Yeah.
I'm not even familiar with that story.
It's about a guy who learns to see through cards.
Interesting. See, yeah, when I was a kid, when I first started being really into reading, probably about 4th grade, I read like all the Roald Dahl books.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're still on my shelf. Yeah, but down there.
I read a lot of them too, and I read like his autobiography.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I didn't retain much of it, but there's the way that Wes Anderson stages the Roald Dahl adaptations is really all about the words of the story.
sure.
And so it takes some adjusting to when it starts up and you're like, oh my God, is it going to be this the entire time? And it is.
Cool.
But it's cool. And I mean, like,
I really want to see those. Well, I didn't even know they existed, and then they popped up
Yeah.
one day, and we were talking about it, but we didn't go for it.
Dev Patel is so good in all of the ones that he's in, but you know, he's like he's got to be a permanent fixture. Like Jeffrey Wright is someone who, as soon as Wes Anderson found him, it was
Yeah.
like these guys are going to work together forever, and they need to.
Yeah.
And Dev Patel is another one. Like
good.
he needs to be in every single Wes Anderson movie.
Good. I love the Wes Anderson actors.
Me too.
The
and I love
Actors
that.
Guild of Wes Anderson
And I love
movies.
that he keeps adding people. Tom
Yeah.
Hanks.
Yeah.
So yeah, and there's a few he's working on one right now, and I forget who else he's added. Another person from the Asteroid City who's should be an all-time new Wes Anderson player is Maya Hawke, who I never saw Stranger Things, so I was not really familiar with Maya Hawke.
She's great
but,
in Stranger Things.
Yeah, but she's amazing in Asteroid City too. So.
She's she was in a movie I saw too, but I can't remember what it is. All right, so my number 3 is a straight up song choice.
okay.
Okay, Silent Running by Gorillaz. Okay.
Yeah.
Why I chose this is because Gorillaz are one of my number 1 favorite acts. He's been putting out a lot. Like he's put
one of
out
those
albums
dudes.
like, but he wasn't always. This is like kind of a recent thing where he's just boom, nailing them out one after another. So there have been a lot of Gorillaz content that I've not been able to consume. Some of it I've really liked. Some of it I've been like, you're putting out too much, which happens. But Silent Running I just loved because it was like kind of classic Gorillaz sound.
Yeah.
And it's a banger, and there's, it's a great song. I will also say that this was finally the year that I got Zach to listen to Gorillaz.
Yeah, and I'm coming around more and more to the whole Damon Albarn project.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
I was texting you the other day because I saw this movie called After Sun, which I really loved, and there's a very prominent and very cool use of the song Tender, the Blur song.
Come on, come on, come on, get through it.
And actually what's kind of cool is it does this weird thing where toward the end of the song it drops down to like half speed and like half pitch, which I don't think I've ever seen a movie really do before. But After Sun is a lot about your memory and how your memory is impacted by media. So like by
Okay.
like home video.
Sure.
So that obviously it resonated very deeply with me there.
Yeah.
So yeah, oh man, that movie crushed me. So cool. All right. Number 2. My number 2 choice is something that we touched on a little bit already. It's a song by Ludwig Göransson, and it's called "Can You Hear the Music?" and it is from Oppenheimer. And I saw Oppenheimer in IMAX. I drove for like 3 hours to see this movie by myself in IMAX, and it was transcendent. There are sequences in this movie that are like, you're like, nobody in the world does this shit like Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
And not only that, but every single movie Christopher Nolan has ever made was leading up to him making this. To the point where even the kind of multiple timelines signaled by black and white and color from Memento gets used in Oppenheimer. You know, it's like he used everything he has ever learned and added all kinds of new stuff to his bag
Interesting.
of tricks to make this movie. And it's like, I mean, if you ever see like some people, if you haven't seen Oppenheimer, maybe you've seen like random clips flying around on Twitter and stuff, and it's like it is really jumping around in time and from moment to moment for 3 fucking hours.
Yeah.
Like it's wild.
I can't wait to see it.
It's great. It's a great movie.
Well, clearly I can't because it's been out for 6 months.
Yes.
But I really want to see it.
It's my favorite movie of the year. Unless a late breaking something happens. There's a couple more movies I want to try to catch before the end of the year. But pretty sure it's going to be Oppenheimer.
Yep.
And yeah.
Well, I walked right into that one, but I saw the movie Poor Things a couple of days ago, and holy shit, that's actually my favorite movie of the year. Last minute, 11th hour replacement at the top of the list. We'll talk about Poor Things soon. If you're hearing this and you have the ability to see the movie in a theater, it's still rolling out to various theaters. But run, don't walk. Oh my God. Poor Things. Holy shit. Anyway, back to the show.
Great movie.
I love it. And I love Christopher Nolan forever. Anything that dude makes, I'm in.
Yeah. Number 2 for you.
My number 2 is actually a song that I chose it as a stand-in for a film. We don't need to talk about it too much because we already have this here. But my song choice was a song from 1986, No Sleep Till Brooklyn.
Right on. Yeah.
Okay, Guardians 3, I don't need to say any more about it. It's my favorite trilogy of my favorite franchise it's the pinnacle of Marvel for me.
Yeah.
It's my favorite trilogy. It's perfect. James Gunn, you're going to make a Superman movie, and it's going to be the best Superman movie ever made.
I really can't wait for that.
It's going to be incredible, dude.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be so good. And that's all I have to say about it. No Sleep Till Brooklyn is my choice because the Beastie Boys are my favorite. So
I'm glad we got this in here.
Yeah.
All right, so my number 1 is a song called Glass, Concrete, and Stone by David Byrne. And this is a stand-in for The Bear Season 2. Which I know you haven't watched The Bear, and you have a good reason for it. It is too close to home for you for now. I have confidence.
Just come and watch me at work, bro.
I have confidence there will be a
Same
time when you can watch this show because the way the show uses music in particular is so wonderful. And from the opening, this season 2 opens with a Bruce Hornsby song called "The Show Goes On," and just from that alone, you're like, I am so like, this show is like such a warm embrace, as it's a stressful show full of yelling, but it's also like the loveliest show on TV. I actually tweeted that I was like, because they use Wilco all the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, The Bear Season 3 is going to open with I'm Trying to Break Your Heart, and it's going to be the greatest thing you've ever seen in your life. Just calling it now. But so there's that episode 7 of Season 2 of The Bear is called Forks.
Yeah.
And it tracks a character as he stages at like a really, really nice restaurant in Chicago. It's like a fictional, one of the best restaurants in the world.
Sure.
And the episode is really about this guy's character as he finds a sort of sense of purpose in his life. And this is a guy who's like a character who's been on the show the whole time, has been really funny and kind of a prick. And, you just kind of enjoy. There's been times where you see this kind of like the like sort of more somber reality of his life. So all about this guy. But this episode is all about him, and it's all about his growth. And it is spectacular. There is also in this episode a montage set to Love Story by Taylor Swift. And
Right.
it's the most joyful 3 minutes of TV or movies that I got all year. It's like stand up and pump your fist kind of TV. And it's very rare when that happens, but man, it's so good. So The Bear, my favorite thing of the year.
Okay, so first of all, yes, The Bear. I haven't watched because I'm a restaurant industry person. I watched the first episode and I said I can't do it. But
The first episode is one of the more intense ones.
So, my number 1, I am shocked, is not your number 1. Okay. I am glad that I get to be the one that talks about it because I feel like you'll be proud of me for choosing this. but it's because of how they released it, what it means, what it stands for. My number one is Black Country New Road, Up Song.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, Black Country New Road famously loses their lead singer,
Yep.
continues on as a band, puts out Live at Bush Hall, which was presumably recorded in 2022, but it
released this
released
year.
in
Yeah, it counts this
February.
year.
And they for those of you who have not watched it, it's on YouTube. The Live at Bush Hall performance, they have multiple different like scenarios, right? At least
Yeah.
2 different scenarios.
It's like prom night, and
It's-
it's also like Halloween
so
or something. I can't
yeah,
remember.
there's like a Halloween party. Depending on the show that you went to, there was a theme to the show, and they perform dressed in costumes. They say things about the they congratulate their class.
Yeah.
But Up Song is the first song. It has one of the most enjoyable repeating lines over and over again that I think I've ever heard,
Yeah.
which is, "Look at what we did together, BCN, our friends forever."
Look at what we did together, BCN, our friends forever. Look at what we did together, BCN, our friends forever. Look at what we did together, BCN, our friends forever. Look at what we did together.
Amazing.
And
Okay.
you're right that it really is like it's them celebrating the fact that they survived.
Yep.
You know, the loss of their lead singer and managed to I think they fulfilled all of the tour dates that they had originally even were scheduled to do before that happened,
And
and then just kept going.
it is, and so they're performing a performance as a prom night. So the song is like works in that vein too, as like, look at what we did together, we're graduating kind of thing,
Right.
But it is about the band itself, and it's so musically interesting.
Yeah. The beginning of the song, it kind of does like Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds with like a saxophone, and then it's like that thing where it goes like dun dun, and the whole song like kicks in
Yes.
super hard.
I also like the fact that it's not super like well recorded. Like it kind of sounds.
It sounds wild and live.
Yeah, it sounds wild and live, but also like kind of low quality recording, which I love. Can still survive in this world, where even every YouTuber has a home studio now. You know, like, and as a person who has recorded on terrible equipment his whole life, I resent it. I resent you, and I resent it. All right, people out there.
I very famously, I don't like it. You know,
Yeah.
I think a lot of stuff that is made by internet personnel, a lot of the songs you see that kind of go viral on TikTok and everything, sounds too slick.
It does. It's way too slick.
There's not a single rough edge.
Yeah, what's your deal?
Yeah.
Why does every single person? It's like, why does every single person have like a home studio that is like the nicest equipment I've ever seen? Meanwhile, I am still recording on the same digital microphone I've used for the past like 7 or 8 years, and also, you know,
We're recording this podcast on microphones we've had since high school.
yeah, I know exactly.
Okay, yeah, really tempted fate with that one. Sorry.
What's wrong with you people? Why are you spending all this money? Buy a house instead.
Yeah.
So anyway, Black Country New Road, amazing band, amazing song. Go listen to Up Song. Put on the Live at Bush Hall performance, because it really, as opposed to listening to it on Spotify, watching that performance is so great.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you went second so that we could end on that one, because that's
Me
a
too.
perfect ending.
Yeah.
And I actually think I did write down BCNR on like a list somewhere and then forgot to incorporate it back in, but I'm happy to have it be on your list instead. Yeah, a great album. Turbines / Pigs too is like another incredible. It's like an 11-minute song.
Yeah.
And the fact that like I don't know if these songs were already in progress when their singer left or what. I don't know what their like writing process is anyway.
Right.
But the fact that basically they didn't keep any of the old songs, and they just started over, and they still got all of this, it makes me really excited to see what else Black Country New Road will do. Great band, and I really love what they're doing all the time.
It kind of tracks now too with musicians where like we're all like, it's like if your lead singer leaves, like, yeah, you're probably all singers. You're probably all a bunch of musicians that have, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
So the fact that you were able to keep the songwriting strategy like the same-ish, at least.
It still feels like the same.
It feels
band.
the same, yeah. And so that's significant that you were able to do that. But
well, that's 2023. That's the 2023 mixtape. I feel like that's a good mix of the things that you and I like and talk all the time about what we like, and a few things people probably hadn't heard about. So, we provided a public service. I'm ready for this year to be over. I'm feeling optimistic about 2024. I know a lot of people aren't, but I am.
I'm feeling optimistic. The last one of these episodes, we ended talking about the song This Will Be Our Year and how it kind of is like a jinx on setting yourself up for failure of that year.
Yeah.
But you know what? This will be our year, all right?
All right. Yeah, cosign.